Sometimes it's the small things in life that bring the best results. Like an overzealous chihuahua chasing you on your morning run. Or TextBlaze, the lightweight Chrome extension that helps you work faster by turning all of your repetitive typing into handy shortcuts. In this video, I'm going to show you some practical examples of how you can get the most out of TextBlaze. Let's pretend for a moment that I am an intergalactic entity from the 4th dimension, on a quest to find the best cup of coffee in your universe. I need to send emails to the leaders of every planet to inform them of my intentions. Here in the 4th dimension, we're all pretty smart, so we all use TextBlaze. Let's start with a basic email that I've had my underlings draft for me. To turn this into a snippet, highlight, right-click, make new snippet from selection, label, shortcut. Done. Now, I know what you're thinking. This isn't exactly a friendly email. Let's fix that by adding a touch of personalization. I can expand my greeting and make it more personal with a text field. The label is optional, but I'm going to add it because I want to reuse the planet name elsewhere in this email. I'm also going to remove this part and instead add another text field with the same label as the one above. This will link the contents of both text fields. Let's try it out. Remember how I gave both text fields the same label to link their contents? This is the result. Now that's already much faster than typing the whole thing by hand, or even copy-pasting it from another document. But as a demanding intergalactic warlord, every minute counts. So let's make a few more adjustments to our snippet. I have this spreadsheet with a list of planets I want to contact, along with the email addresses of their leaders. I want to be able to copy the whole row of data from my spreadsheet, split it up according to columns, and then use it in my snippets. To do this, I can use a combination of commands, functions, and formulas. Let's create a new snippet so that you can get a focused look at how I'm building this. First, I want to take a moment to explain formulas. 2 + 2 = 4 is a formula. Espresso shot plus frothed milk equals cappuccino is also a formula. If you're familiar with formulas in Excel and Google Sheets, you'll see a number of similarities with TextBlaze formulas. Let's try creating one. We start by putting an equals sign between two curly brackets. This tells TextBlaze that we want to build a formula. You'll notice that the formula functions menu has appeared below. We don't need that for now because we're going for something super simple, 2 + 2. In the preview, you can see that TextBlaze has given me the result of my formula. Formulas can also contain variables. If I create two variables and assign numbers to them, I can use those variables inside my formula. Got it? Good. Now you're primed to assimilate the great mysteries of the multiverse. Let's return to our spreadsheet data and copy it into our clipboard. Next, we need the clipboard command, which will bring into my snippet anything that I have in my computer's clipboard. Since I copied the whole row, this is what the clipboard command will give me. Not very useful. You'll see that the contents of the two columns are separated by white space. However, I can use the split function to break up the contents of my clipboard. Once again, we start by putting an equals sign between two curly brackets. From the formula functions menu, let's choose the split function. TextBlaze automatically inserts some sample data, so let's get rid of that and replace it with our own. The first part of the formula contains the data we want to split, in our case, our clipboard data. The second part contains the characters where we want the split to happen. Since we got our data from a spreadsheet, this would be the equivalent of pressing the Tab key, which is represented by \T. Now, if I look at the preview, I can see that TextBlaze has broken up my data into a list containing 2 items. Item 1 is the data from the first column. Item 2 is the data from the second column. Now we need an easy way to process these list items. Let's start by giving this formula a variable name. That way we can recall this data anytime by referencing the variable name. Like this. Now if I want the first item on the list, I just need to put the number 1 inside square brackets after the variable name. And of course, I can also give that a name for easy linking. So now we have 2 variables, planet and email. Let's carry all of this over to our original snippet and put it to work there. Now I can remove this text field and replace it with the planet variable. A quick look at the preview shows me that I've got a bunch of white space at the top. This is caused by the new formulas I added. To solve this, I'm going to put these commands inside a note block and use the trim setting to clean up any remaining white space. The trim setting has 4 options. Yes removes all white space on both sides of the command. No turns off the trim setting. Left and right remove white space to the left and right of the command respectively. In my case, I just need a trim on the right. Now here comes the fun part. I'm going to use the TextBlaze autopilot feature to simulate a Shift-Tab key press. This will move my cursor into the subject line field of the email so that TextBlaze can insert my subject line automatically. And I can do it one more time to move into the recipient field and insert the email address. Let's see it in action. Now I can keep doing this with every row of data in my spreadsheet to quickly send over my requests for the best coffee on every planet. Stage 1 of our mission is complete. I've just received an email from the Supreme Commander of planet Ya. He reports that he has personally sent me his top brew and eagerly awaits my verdict. Time to pull out another TextBlaze snippet for quick replies. Here's another simple template created by my brainless minions. While useful, it's definitely not up to the standards of an intergalactic warlord of the 4th dimension. So I urge you to suggest suitable punishment in the comments below. In the meantime, let's add some tweaks. I could go with some text and paragraph fields like this, but that means I would still need to do a lot of typing. Not good. Let's start at the top. We're replying to this email inside Gmail, because yes, believe it or not, Google also has majority market share in the 4th dimension. Here I'm going to use the first name command from the Gmail command pack. This automatically picks up the name of the recipient to whom you're responding. I can add a default value too, in case the email has no name associated with it. Next, I want to add a drop-down menu with a variety of verdicts. I'm going to add a label because further down I want the comments section to change based on my choice in the menu. In the comments section, I'm going to add an if command block. For now, let's just make a basic condition that checks whether the variable verdict is empty. Here's what that looks like. The if command is asking the question, are the contents of the variable called verdict equivalent to empty? If the answer is yes, give me this text. Otherwise, give me this other text. Now, we have 3 options in our verdict drop-down menu, so we need to cater for all 3. We can do this with the else if command, which works exactly like the if command and is useful for when you have multiple conditions. Let's create conditions for all 3 options. and let's fill in the text accordingly. In the first option, I'm really pleased with the brew, so I'm informing the planet's leader of my intention to requisition the entirety of the planet's supply. Since my general is not omniscient as I am, I also need to loop her into the email so that she may organize the requisition. I can do this with the CC command from the Gmail command pack. Now, whenever I choose this option, TextBlaze will automatically add my general's email in CC. In the second option, I'm not quite pleased with the coffee. Since I'm a decent warlord, I want the planet's leader to know what it is that I don't like. For this, I'm going to add a drop-down menu with a number of feedback items. This should be a multi-select menu, so I can tick all the options I need. I also want to add an optional paragraph field to insert additional comments. To do this, I start with the toggle command. Then I can insert my paragraph field inside the command block. Of course, mediocre coffee should not go unpunished, so I must now obliterate the offending planet by summoning the Planet Smasher. So this time I'm adding the Planet Smasher's email in CC to inform her of her next target. For the final option, I'm very displeased with the coffee. There's not much to add. A few stern words and a warning of impending destruction will suffice. And of course, the Planet Smasher in CC as always. Let's try out our snippet. Now, notice how there's some additional white space when I do this. Let's add the trim right setting to fix that. This means that all of this white space will be eliminated when I insert this snippet. Let's look at the preview one more time to make sure all is in order. The coffee from Planet Ya isn't bad, but it's rather disappointing. So in my response, I will cordially give my feedback and advise the planet to brace for impending annihilation. Now let's look at some real-world, non-intergalactic scenarios where you can apply all of this. If you're part of a customer support team, you could use a snippet similar to the second one to offer different troubleshooting solutions based on the customer's question. If you're a medical practitioner, you could use it to send out appointment reminders to your patients, including a checklist of items that they need to bring with them. If you're an educator, you could use this to send out assignment reports to your students, with drop-down menus for areas needing improvement, as well as paragraph fields for in-depth commentary. And if you're in sales, you could use the first email to hit your daily prospect quota faster. TextBlaze is an incredibly flexible and powerful tool. And the more you use it, the more exciting features you discover. No matter what you use TextBlaze for, I urge you to join our community. You'll find loads of ideas that you can use to get even more out of TextBlaze. So, do it. You don't want me to unleash the Planet Smasher now, do you?